Before the video starts, I have a little announcement to make. I worked on a little project that is called Lazytextures for the last few months. On Lazytextures you can get materials, HDRIs or models completely for free, CC0, so you can use them in your projects commercially free. Every asset on that site that I made is completely free and you can use it. I also work on a little bridge for Cinema4D, Octane and Redshift. I will publish that in the next weeks. Inside of this bridge you can download your models and export it with one click inside of your project or Blender, Cinema4D, Octane, Redshift project without any problem. You can also import your asset to create an asset manager for your project. Inside of the description is also the Patreon link for this project to get better and more assets, because it's a little bit of a work to get this done and pay the server cost. I also will publish some tutorials how to make these materials or models or everything like this on my Patreon. I hope you like this project. I really like it if someone uses the assets that I made, and I hope you have fun with the video, and goodbye. Hello guys and welcome to this video. Today we talk about the latest update of Cinema4D 2026.1 and what's new. So I also talk about of Redshift a little bit in this video, so overall what is new inside of Cinema4D and Redshift, because Redshift is now a part of Cinema4D as a render engine. So we jump right into it and I show you what is new. So now we are in Cinema4D, as you can see. Something that is new is called the distribution cloners. So the update was coming to the public like yesterday or something, and now I'm gonna show you what is new. This is the cannonball distribution in the cloner. So this is like a smaller update for macro system, but I really like it. It works with like the spacing here, and you can create this new cloners by using the cloner, go to advanced and then go to this distributions or create your own one. I guess this is all on the new node system based, so you can use it and play with that. So you can go and create your own distributions or use the presets. I put all of the presets into this project to show you that. So first we have the cannonball distribution. This is working with it's working with some spheres, obviously, and you have like a pyramid of this. So yeah, this is how that works. As you can see, you can go for the radius, and it's spacing based on the radius also, and you can move it in this. It's important that you put the sphere right into the cloner, not in the distribution. Then we have the patron distribution. This is like a package or something, and it scales your object. In this example, I have a cube where it's in, and as you can see, you can also play with the gap and everything, but I think you want to keep it on 0. And you have cuts, and it's like it's good if you make like packages or something that is inside of a truck or something. I think that was the example that Maxon showed, and you can see you have like a few things to play with, random density, random cuts and everything. I think it's really nice to get something like this really quick with a macro system. So I think it's a small thing, but it's definitely worthy. So definitely a good thing to try it out. Then we have the smart hex distribution. Also you have like the settings in here, as you can see how you can use it. It's always the same. This is like a wall or something. If you put a cube in there, we could also go for a sphere or something and put something different in it, or multiple objects. And I think they the distribution thing noticed the size of the object and fit it in, so the gap between it without setting an additional gap is like exactly the size of your object. Same with the spline distribution. You need to put the spline as a child in here, or maybe you can select it in here, so it must be a child of that. So then you can use spline distribution. It's also like the object one, and you put the spline in here, and then you get it. But it's a little bit different, and I think you have more options to play with it. So maybe for the future, it's like a better method to use it. I think it doesn't work that well with intersecting and stuff. Maybe you need to play around with that. Here's a max count, offset, and everything. I think it always fit like the length of the spline that you put in. Also, I don't know. I used the 2024 version before, so I switched a few days ago. I don't know if this is a new feature, but you can also use like an arc, and yeah, you can, as you can see, you can play with controls. I think that's a new thing. Maybe it's a 2026 or 2025 update, but I like it. And also you have more options like this. It's also cool, but as you can see, this is a spline operation. It's like distribution. It's like just a spline one. Okay, it always used the first input as a input for that. I like it. It's nice to know. I also really like this. That's not a 2-grid. That's a stack distribution. So now you have the opportunity to stack your objects in a cloner, and it also search for the closest point, and the gap is even every time, so you don't have clipping. Maybe if we rotate it, we can also see it. So if you have like a ton of cans or something that is stacking up, you can use it and don't need to place it manually, or use like the old one, and you need to go for a line, and then you need to exactly match the numbers to the spacing or the size or the radius of the object that you use. So I think it's really nice to bypass, like, yeah, control. You need to control your spacing or something. It's doing it automatically by nodes, I guess. So I think it's really nice, but maybe I can take a look at this distribution node. Maybe you can put it in. Okay, here's the stack distribution as a node, but I think you can control it completely or see the nodes or something. It's just one node that has many settings that you can play with in the node editor. I don't really use the nodes in Cinema4D because I have like the mindset, hey, if I want to play with nodes or do something like procedural stuff, I always go to Houdini and do something like this in Houdini, because yeah, I like more of the control, and you have like completely freedom in the node editor of Houdini. So that's because I don't use it in Cinema4D, and I always use like the Mogra stuff. This is also a really interesting thing. You have like the 2D grid distribution. That's also a preset that you have. I had some time to play out with that, so you need to put your shape into the 2D distribution thing, and I think it always used the second one, or is it using both? It's using kinda both, but it's buggy if you use two objects in that. I think if we do it like this, it should work. So I don't play like that much with it, but it's interesting to know. You can also play with the direction. I don't know, but as you can see, you can't move like this by hand. But if you go to the pivot mode, you can see you can move it and play with it. Like, yeah. No, it's working. It doesn't work on top and bottom, obviously, because it's projecting from the top to the bottom. You can also go to like this, and it goes for the side or the other side, and you have like a few options to play with it. It's really nice. I like it. So you can also go for render instances, but clones and distribution, raise coordinates. In here you don't have that much options. Obviously you can go for random effectors or plane effectors or something. You could set a color on everything, so it works also on here. We always have this color and this distribution thing. And as you can see, we have a random scale. I mean, this is kind of nice to work with. And I think it's always... oh no, okay. It's not projecting exactly through it. So it's just like a thing to play with. And as you can see, you can set the plane bigger or go for a bigger count, but it still fits into the size, and it's cool, it's nice to have. So yeah, it's a nice change. So the second change that is made inside of Cinema4D, not in the renderer, is like we have a new emitter for liquid. So we have a fill emitter, and now I guess it's the liquid emitter. I don't mess that much with liquid because, I mean, there was a little bit of a backlash, I think, when they introduced that, because it's like it's a liquid simulation thing inside of Cinema4D. That's cool, but I think Houdini or LiquidGen or something are better alternatives to get liquid out of that. Because I guess it's not that nice. I don't like the look of it. It's like it looks like liquid simulations a few years ago or 10 years ago that are not like that detailed systems with white water or stuff like that. It is working perfectly. So there are a few people that made this and work with that, and it looks decent and good, but it's, in my opinion, not that good. In my opinion, I always would go to Houdini or maybe LiquidGen when I make something like Liquid Sims, but my number one choice would always be Houdini, because it's like the best option to get quick and good results for water simulations. You can go for white water. You can render white water really good inside of Houdini. Yeah, it's because I don't like the water simulations in here, but now you have the opportunity to go for a flow emitter that is working, I guess, good, and you can, I think they showed something like you can play with the size, and the density is still the same. Yeah, as I told you, it's completely different. I don't know, looking interesting. For my taste, it's not that good. Okay, now we go to the Redshift settings, and I have a few things to say here. So now we have a new version of Redshift, and there are really good changes that I see in Octane. This makes the change from Octane, from an Octane perspective, to a Redshift perspective really good. So you can just use Redshift way better than before, because you have like a few more control nodes or things that are already in Octane to get this also in Redshift and use it. I really like it, and I think it's a little bit funny because it feels like it's a little copy of the Octane systems that we already have, but I show you right now what I'm talking about. So we have a few material changes. Oh yeah, also, sorry, I forgot that. We also have a takes update in here. I don't use that much takes, but you can use something like takes more or better. I don't know. It's like a few changes up here to render them better or go for better takes options. I think it's good if you have like multiple scenes or cuts that you have or takes inside of your animation, and you need to render that out. It's really good, but I really don't use it that much. And also we have like a Unreal Cinema4D Cineware bridge that is working better. I used Unreal Engine like 2 years ago, like a little bit more, but right now I don't use it that much. But the Cineware bridge between Unreal Engine and Cinema4D was always there, but they improved some things in the Unreal Engine Cineware bridge. So maybe you check this out. I can't really tell you exactly what's new there because I didn't use it. I just saw the new settings in here and go for the changelogs and started to make this video. So now we talk about Redshift again. So as I said, you had now the options to go for UV context in here. So you have like you need to go in here and go for UV. Okay, let's take a little bit. UV projection. So if you are an Octane user, you already know something like this. I like that it's now in Redshift also, so if you have like a texture, so maybe we go for the lazy bridge that I'm about to publish soon. We can go for like a material like this gray terrazzo and put it in here, and now it's loading. And as you can see, we have like the normal UV projection of Cinema4D that is called here UV mapping. But now we have like the opportunity to go for projection. I don't know why I can search this in here, but we have it here. So now you have the opportunity to go in here, for example, and go for only one texture. So I tell you what I mean with that. If you go here, that was so. Now connect node, existing node, UV coordinate. As an example, you can go this for all textures, and now you can say pass through UV channel or go for cubic, for example. As you can see now, it's looking a little bit interesting because we only modify the reflection. But if we also do it in here and go for existing node, now we can UV tile it or set a different UV projection like cubic or triplanar for this plane without changing it in here, or do it for like, I don't know, you have a roughness texture and you just want to influence that and go for cubic mode or cubic UV channel, like for just the roughness, or change some things in there. You can easily only go for cubic UV channel or UV mapping only for one channel. Or what you can also do, that's also possible, is that you go in here and change it for every node that's in here. That's really nice, I like it. So I think it's a good feature that is Redshift is coming with. And another change, this is the second change that I show you today in Redshift, is we have texture displacement. That's also a thing that is in Octane like years ago. So now you have the opportunity to connect the displacement in here. And okay, now I'm back. I was a little bit confused because I don't have a specific setting for the displacement, but it's still working. So in the latest versions, or in the old versions that's coming before that, you need to go for a Redshift tag and you need to go for like adaptive subdivision. But now you are enabled to use texture displacement with baking texture resolution, or just displacement with one polygon. So now you don't need to subdivide your mesh or something, it just uses the displacement of the texture and don't need to have like many subdivisions to display that. We always had this in Octane, so I was confused because in Octane you can set up this inside of a node. Wait, give me a second. I can show you this also. That's also new in Octane. I can also make an update video about that. They brought up a new version a few days ago. So now you can use like noise textures of Octane instead of always need to use a texture, and you have like the settings in here that is using that, but this is not in Redshift, so you need to make a Redshift tag and set up for this specific object this texture displacement. So I think it's a little bit more controllable or user-friendly to use it like, or do it like this. But as you can see, this is also working in Octane since, I don't know, 10 years or something. But now we have it also in Redshift and I really like it. And also I can show you the texture thing that is in Octane. In here you have like the projection modes, and then you can go for these modes and can play with it. That's a new thing inside of Redshift, and I think that's it for the video. So we have covered everything that is new and what I want to talk about, a new version inside of Cinema4D 2026.1. And I like this update. It's like a smaller update, but I think there are some pretty and good things that are new, and I really like it. Thanks, goodbye.